Hey, what's up, guys? Was here, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die. About 4 years ago, I built a 7 Days to Die version of the iconic StarCraft Terran Bunker. With the new 3.1 update out, I decided to pull that design out of retirement, upgrade it, and run it through some tests. And honestly, I stumbled into something that completely blew my mind. In fact, I think this design might actually be broken. The best part? It's super simple to build. It works across multiple difficulty levels and it's insanely flexible. You can run it completely stripped down on a budget or go full heavy metal depending on your playstyle. So for tonight's horde test, we're going full StarCraft mode. I cranked the stack size multiplier to 500x so we can max out the turret capacities. And I set up a bunch of M60 Auto-Turrets. Of course, I maxed out the difficulty of the horde. I posted my settings here on screen. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. But before we do horde, let's check out the base first. At ground level, you've got the main 9x9 bunker. It's basically a half pyramid topped by a dome at 4 blocks high. Right underneath the bunker sits a 13x13 crafting room, which is 9 blocks deep underground. Now, if you look over here, we have a long underground tunnel running 60 blocks out from the bunker, which brings us out to this hatch. That distance isn't just for show, it's very crucial. Horde Night zombies spawn within a 50 block radius of the player. By putting the hatch 60 blocks out, we force the AI to spawn on the surface and interact directly with our bunker rather than breaking down our entry hatch. Now, let's take a look inside the bunker. It's extremely straightforward. The center is your main fighting position. You get a full 360-degree view of your surroundings, and you don't need to move much at all, making it easy to spot incoming spawns and send rounds downrange immediately. Strategy-wise, always prioritize high-threat targets like cops and demolishers first. By the way, you can remove these center fences if you want a clearer view, but keep in mind you'll take far more projectile damage. The dome structure does create a few blind spots. Just shift your angle slightly to line up your shots. If you prefer going melee, you'll be fighting right through these dome windows. That's where the horde will bottleneck. I highly recommend a stun button for its crowd control and knockback. Just watch out for that pesky ragdoll phase bug because you'll definitely have zombies clipping straight through the floor and into your base. Okay, so let me just show you how the base actually works. The secret comes down to block geometry. The pathing algorithm doesn't read the stairs, ramps, and domes as solid obstacles. Because the geometry slopes up smoothly, the zombies calculate a direct valid vector to reach your position. Since there are no flat walls directly blocking their path, their block destruction AI never triggers. They actually have to enter full-on rage mode before they even think about attacking the structure. In older updates, the top of the dome was a massive structural weak spot. But as of 3.0 and 3.1, even with digging enabled, the path for this layout has completely shifted. I honestly don't know if the devs intended this or if this is just a bug, but either way, it opens up a whole new world of ground level base builds. Speaking of base builds, let's get into how to build this thing. I'm gonna focus strictly on the ground bunker since that's the main thing here for this video. Feel free to tweak the underground crafting layout to fit your needs. Just make sure your exit hatch stays well outside of the 50 block spawn radius. I've color coded the floor area to make the setup super easy to follow. Starting in the center, red marks our 3x3 interior core space. Gray is just blank space. Yellow highlights the critical corner support blocks, and then white frames the outer layer. I've also arranged the blocks to be used in line with the build sequence. I'll also post the shape names as we build it out, again to make it easier to follow. Okay, so let's build out the red interiors first, which is the core of the base. Here are the blocks that you'll need. You start with the corners first, then build it out from there. After finishing the core, move on to laying down the corners and the outer layer. Here are the shapes that you'll need. Once your corners are locked in, Lay down the stairs on the gaps in the white colored space to close in and build up the bunker. Next, we go back to the corners and continue building up using these wedge shapes. For this section, I'm using pole two-way plate number 2 instead of regular plates. Use advanced rotation to face the corner poles outward. This narrows the opening and helps minimize projectiles getting through. However, because of the narrow gap, you can only use spears and stab at the zombies at this position. With the bottom half done, we now move on to building the dome. These are the shapes that we'll use for this section. Ensure you set your rotation to simple before laying them down. I recommend placing the blocks one shape at a time across all 4 sides so it's easy to visualize your progress. And then finally, we use these shapes to totally close off the dome and complete the bunker. And with that, you now have your very own Terran bunker. Now let's switch gears and prep for Horde Night. Okay, so for Horde Night, we're doing things a bit differently. As mentioned earlier, I've already done a bunch of tests, but I've never tested going AFK and just let the turrets deal with the Horde. I have 16 M60 Auto-Turrets online, and with a stack multiplier max, each turret is loaded with 2,250 rounds. That's a total of 36,000 rounds of automated firepower. I know it's absurd and very unrealistic, but like I showed earlier, the build is really broken and there's no other way around it. Also, I just wanted to see it in action from the outside, so I'll run Horde Night just as an observer to really see what's happening outside of the bunker. Also, this is pre-recorded rather than live. I already know how it turns out. Full disclosure, I didn't do any repairs but I had to reload one turret after losing 2 early. Also stepped into the fight during the final 15 minutes to save some time. Speaking of time, I compressed the whole night into a quick highlight reel, so let's jump into the action. And there you have it, folks. That's the end of Fortnite. The base managed to survive. In summary, yeah, this base is broken. Took a lot of damage from the cop explosions, but outside of that, no issues. The only thing I'd change is some of the angles being covered by the turrets to minimize the blind spots, but in general, if I wasn't AFK, there'd be no issues. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.